Hi, I'm the coach Dick Cox, and welcome to the Lindy Sports post-game report, Coach's Corner. Today was not a good day for the University of South Carolina fans. The day started out with high hopes as the #1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs and defending national champions came to town for a noon kickoff. The game was a sellout of around 80,000 people here today, though. The fans came highly motivated and highly vocal. But by halftime, unfortunately, this crowd was down to only maybe a fourth of the fans that had come for the game, and those were mainly Georgia Bulldog fans. Georgia was able to take South Carolina out of the game by driving and scoring on the first 3 possessions of the game. South Carolina defensively, missing 5 starters, just were unable to slow down Georgia's offense, and Georgia's offense just performed well and executed at a high level all day long, while their defense limited the South Carolina Gamecocks today to only 306 yards today, 92 on the ground, and the rest were through the air combined for 214 yards, and South Carolina just could never get anything going. With 3 turnovers today, 2 interceptions by Spencer Rattler, 1 by Luke Doty, South Carolina shot themselves in the foot on several occasions though. But in the end result today was the Georgia Bulldogs were able to go home with a very convincing 48-7 win, and pretty much of an embarrassing game. The fans, again, were the story of the game. South Carolina's fans, I looked over several times today, and there were no fans left in the student section. I took a picture of the Carolina cheerleaders. We're cheering to empty seats. And there's no excuse and no reason for the South Carolina fans to be like that. This is game 3. South Carolina has played 2 top 10 teams in the country. And again, you've got to give them some time. And I just want to come out and tell the South Carolina fans, if you can't encourage this team in a positive way, don't waste your time or money and come in here and make the game embarrassing for recruits and for other people. I had the chance today to ask Juju McDowell, how did it feel to have 80,000 people cheering you on at the beginning of the game, but very shortly after that, how disappointing it was that the fans went home. And he said, we keep trying. He said, it's very disappointing. He said, we try, we work hard to do the best we can, but you could see the disappointment in the players' faces. Coach Shane Beamer, he knew it. He said after the game in post-game press conference that he said, I've done a crappy job of being able to prepare this team to play today. And he didn't make any excuses about them being short-handed with the number of players they had on defense and all. As a matter of fact, he took offense with one of the questions that was asked about being the players maybe of quitting and letting up in the locker room after the game, and his quote was, hell no, that's not a part of our tradition and the way we do things in here. And he said our kids played hard to the very end. So again, South Carolina today did not have a good game. Georgia, on the other hand, looked like the #1 team in the country. Stetson Bennett had a good day throwing the football for 2 touchdowns. His big tight end had 2 touchdown catches and over 100 yards in receiving, and even their backups came in and played well. So you can see why Georgia is so good, that they've had one of the top recruiting classes in the country for the last few years though. But our final score again today was the Georgia Bulldogs winning by the score of 48-7. Shane Beamer said, no, you don't ditch everything and start all over again. You go back to work and try to do the same things you've been doing, but do a better job of getting better with it though. Again, not a happy report today from Williams-Brice Stadium though, but realistically, most people, if you ask anybody, after 3 games, had South Carolina at 1-2. So they're pretty much on schedule where a lot of people thought they were going to be. They've got a team from Charlotte coming in next week that they will be favored to win. So let's stick with the Gamecocks, Gamecock fans, and hang with them and let the season play out. This is the fourth away to the season. It's not the whole season right here in the first couple of weeks, though. Georgia, we found out today, has got a great football team, a team that can compete, and I look to see in the national championship game again this year. South Carolina has a program where they're playing a lot of young players early right now due to injuries, and I still think they're going to be an exciting football team. Reporting today for the Gamecocks, Lindy Sports post-game coach's corner. I am the coach, Dick Cox.
Good afternoon.
Coach Lee was just in here talking about needing to play more consistent winning football. Just from an offensive standpoint, from an individual standpoint, what can you and this offense do to play more down-to-down winning football?
I can just be more consistent, like that's really a majority of the problem, that I feel like I have, just consistency, Coach they come up with a great game plan every week, and just help us to go out there and manifest it.
Junior, how disappointing was it? You had a big crowd today, and Georgia was able to take them out early, and then a lot of them went home after that. How disappointing was that?
It was extremely disappointing, because we put so much into it day in and day out to go out there. That to be the end result, but at the same token, I cherish those moments, and I'm extremely proud and thankful for the 80,000 that did show up, because they didn't have to, but yeah, it was extremely disappointing. Guys stepping up internally for each other, having those conversations mentally, just being able to deal with things on your own and having that transition to be able to be a leader to the rest of the team.
So where's it right now?
Kind of to that, do you think there's been a leadership vacuum with how many older players have gotten hurt this early in the year? And if so, how do players kind of step into those roles like you're saying?
Honestly, I don't think there's been a vacuum. We've had injuries, but I don't think that deducts from the leadership in the room. I feel like we still have the same amount of leadership. Yeah, myself included, there are some younger guys that we're trying to get along to help fulfill, that role of leadership to help the older guys out, but I don't feel like there's a vacuum at all.
When you lose a game like this,